Have you ever wondered how much time you might really have left after 70? Growing older brings a lot of changes, and for many of us, the question of how long we'll live becomes more than just a curiosity. It becomes deeply personal. But what if I told you there are signs that can quietly and powerfully predict your longevity? These signs aren't found in a crystal ball or a complicated medical test. They're in how you walk, how you sleep, how you connect with others, and how you carry yourself through the day. In this video, we're diving into 8 real, research-backed signs that predict how long you'll live after 70. These aren't based on guesses or wishful thinking. They're based on decades of medical insight and psychological understanding. And even better, many of these signs are not just predictions. They're things you can improve starting today. So if you're someone who wants to live not only longer, but with more strength, more clarity, and more peace, this video is especially for you. Stay tuned until the end because you may find that just recognizing these signs can completely shift how you see your health and your future. It might even help you take the next step toward living better, not just longer. Let's get started. Sign 1, you walk at a steady, brisk pace. One of the most powerful and often overlooked indicators of how long you'll live after 70 is something as simple as the way you walk. Specifically, if you walk at a steady, brisk pace without effort or hesitation, you may be signaling to the world and to your body that you've got more years ahead of you than you might think. Walking speed has been studied by researchers for decades, and what they've found is remarkably consistent. Older adults who naturally walk faster tend to live longer. It's not about racing down the sidewalk or power walking through the grocery store. It's about the rhythm, the confidence, and the energy in your stride. A steady, purposeful pace reflects a body that still works efficiently and a mind that's alert and engaged. Why does this matter so much? Well, your walking pace isn't just about your legs. It's a reflection of your heart health, your muscle function, your balance, and even your brain. When you walk at a brisk pace, it means your cardiovascular system is pumping blood efficiently, your nervous system is communicating smoothly with your limbs, and your muscles are strong enough to keep you moving. All of that requires your body's systems to be in sync. And when they are, it's a sign of vitality. There's also something psychological at play here. Seniors who maintain a brisk walking pace tend to approach life with more determination and confidence. They're not shuffling or hesitating, they're moving forward, quite literally. And that mental outlook often spills into other parts of life. A willingness to stay active, remain social, and continue participating in the world around them. Imagine this, you're walking through your neighborhood park. The air is crisp and the path is familiar. You're not in a rush, but your steps are strong and even. You pass by a few people who give you a nod or a smile. You're not winded and you're not dragging your feet. That simple stroll, believe it or not, might be quietly saying to the world, I've still got a lot of living to do. There's a man I knew named Harold. He was 78 when I met him at a local community center, and he walked faster than some of the folks half his age. He didn't see it as anything special. It was just how he moved. But the doctors noticed. So did the physical therapist. They said his walking pace was more than just impressive. It was a sign of exceptional health. Harold lived into his mid-90s, sharp and spirited until the end. When people asked him what his secret was, he always said, keep walking like you've got somewhere to be. You don't need to measure your speed with a stopwatch or try to outpace everyone around you. Just pay attention to how you move. If your steps feel natural, if you're not pausing at every curb or struggling to keep your balance, you're likely doing better than you think. And if walking has become more difficult, that's okay too. Because the beautiful thing about this sign is that it's something you can work on and improve. Simple daily walks, even just around your house or block, can make a big difference. Over time, you may find your pace naturally picking up again, and that's your body telling you it's getting stronger. So the next time you head out for a walk, whether it's to grab the mail, meet a friend, or simply clear your head, take note of your pace. That rhythm in your step might just be one of the clearest signs that you're built for a longer, healthier journey ahead. Sign 2, you maintain strong social connections. Another quiet, yet deeply powerful sign that predicts how long you'll live after 70 is your ability to maintain strong, meaningful social connections. It might sound simple or even obvious, but the truth is, your relationships may be doing more for your longevity than any vitamin or workout ever could. When we think about health in our later years, we often focus on things like cholesterol, blood pressure, or joint pain. But researchers have found that loneliness and isolation can be just as dangerous, sometimes even more so. In fact, people over 70 who remain socially active and emotionally connected to others tend to live significantly longer, healthier lives. Why does this matter so much? Because being connected to others nourishes both your body and mind. When you have people to talk to, share a laugh with, or lean on during difficult times, your body responds in remarkable ways. Stress levels decrease, inflammation drops, immune function improves, and perhaps most importantly, you feel a stronger sense of purpose, something that every human being needs regardless of age. But it's not about the number of friends you have or how often you're invited to dinner parties. It's about the depth of those connections. Even a few close relationships, whether it's your spouse, a neighbor, a church friend, or your grown children, can make all the difference. What matters is that you feel seen, heard, and valued. There's a woman named Linda who comes to mind. She's 82, lives alone, and doesn't have a big family. But every Wednesday, without fail, she calls her old high school friend, who lives across the country. They talk for about 30 minutes, about recipes, the news, the aches in their knees, and the old memories they still laugh about. That phone call, as ordinary as it seems, is one of the strongest predictors that Linda will keep thriving well into her 90s. Why? Because that connection lifts her spirit, eases her stress, and reminds her that she's not alone in this world. The science backs this up too. Studies have shown that seniors with strong social bonds have lower risks of heart disease, cognitive decline, and depression. They also recover faster from illness and tend to be more physically active. Social interaction doesn't just feed the heart, it fuels the entire body. And there's another layer to this. When you feel connected, you're more likely to take care of yourself. You might cook healthier meals because you know someone is coming over. You might go for a walk so you can chat with your neighbor. You might take your medications more consistently because your daughter checks in on you every few days. In these small ways, relationships quietly anchor us to routines that protect our health. So take a moment to think about who you're connected to. Who do you laugh with? Who checks on you? Who do you check on? These aren't just nice gestures. They're threads in the fabric of your well-being. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Sign 3, you sleep consistently and soundly. One of the most underestimated signs that quietly predicts how long you'll live after 70 is the quality of your sleep. If you consistently get restful, uninterrupted sleep, usually around 6 to 8 hours a night, it's not just helping you feel more refreshed in the morning. It may actually be extending your life. Many people think poor sleep is just part of getting older. They brush it off, saying, "That's just how it goes when you hit 70, but science says otherwise." In fact, researchers have found that seniors who sleep soundly and regularly are far more likely to avoid serious health problems, like heart disease, stroke, diabetes, and even cognitive decline. Your sleep isn't just downtime, it's repair time. And the older we get, the more precious that repair process becomes. What makes consistent sleep so powerful? First, it allows your brain to clear out waste and reset. This helps improve memory, mood, and focus. Second, your immune system gets a chance to rebuild. When you don't sleep well, inflammation increases, making it harder for your body to fight off illness. And third, quality sleep keeps your hormones balanced, especially the ones that regulate hunger, blood sugar, and stress. There's something else that's especially important for seniors. Sleep impacts your balance and alertness. A well-rested person is much less likely to trip or fall, and we all know how dangerous a fall can be past 70. A broken bone or a head injury can change everything. That's why sleep isn't just about how you feel. It's about how safely you can move through your day. Let me tell you about George, a 75-year-old I met during a wellness seminar. He said he used to get only 4 hours of sleep a night, waking up several times, tossing and turning. He figured it was normal for his age. But after a few health scares, his doctor recommended some small changes, avoiding heavy meals before bed, keeping his bedroom cool and dark, and turning off the TV about an hour before sleep. Within a month, he was sleeping through the night. His energy came back, his blood pressure dropped, and he even said his mood improved. Now at 80, he swears by his sleep schedule and says it's one of the best decisions he's made for his health. It's worth noting that not all sleep issues come from habits. Sometimes they're linked to medications, pain, or even underlying conditions like sleep apnea. That's why it's important not to just accept poor sleep as a given. If you're struggling to fall asleep, stay asleep, or feel rested when you wake up, it's worth bringing up with your doctor. A simple adjustment, like changing the time you take your meds, switching your pillow, or adding light stretching before bed, can make a big difference. And if you're sleeping well right now, that's wonderful news. It means your body is likely maintaining strong rhythms, repairing itself each night, and giving you the best chance at a longer, healthier life. Think about your own sleep. Do you wake up feeling rested most mornings? Is your sleep peaceful and uninterrupted? Or do you find yourself up several times feeling groggy during the day? These questions aren't just about comfort, they're about your future. And the good news is, just like walking and socializing, sleep is something you can gently improve, no matter your age. So tonight, as you settle into bed, know that those quiet hours your body spends resting might be one of the most powerful tools you have for longevity. Sign 4, you can stand on one leg for 10 seconds. Here's a surprising yet incredibly revealing sign that doctors and researchers are paying more attention to these days. Your ability to balance on one leg for at least 10 seconds. It may sound too simple to be meaningful, but this short physical test offers valuable insight into your overall stability, brain function, and even your remaining years of life. As we age, balance becomes more than just a matter of walking without falling. It becomes a marker of how well the body and brain are working together. If you can stand on one leg, steady and still, even for just a brief moment, it tells us a lot. It tells us your muscles are supporting you properly, your nervous system is firing correctly, and your brain is still communicating smoothly with the rest of your body. And those things, they're tied directly to how long and how well you'll live. Recent studies have found a clear link between balance and longevity. Older adults who couldn't maintain a one-leg stance for even 10 seconds were nearly twice as likely to experience serious health issues or a decline in quality of life over the following years. In contrast, those who could pass this simple balance test tended to be healthier, more independent, and live longer overall. There's a gentleman I used to see at the park. His name was Frank. He was 83 and had this daily routine where he'd pause at a bench, lift one leg for 10 seconds, switch, and then keep walking. I asked him once why he did it, and he said, "I read somewhere that if I can still do this at my age, I'm probably going to stick around for a while." He wasn't wrong. Frank's balance wasn't perfect, but it was steady. You could see the concentration in his eyes, the control in his posture. And what I admired most was that he practiced it like brushing his teeth, just part of the routine. Now, if you're hearing this and thinking, "There's no way I can do that," don't worry. This isn't a test you have to pass on the first try. It's a benchmark, a reminder of where you are and where you might want to go. You can improve balance with simple exercises, like standing near a counter and lifting one foot slightly while holding on. Over time, your muscles strengthen, your reflexes sharpen, and that 10 seconds becomes more attainable. Even gentle activities like Tai Chi, yoga, or light stretching can do wonders for your balance. The key is to stay consistent and pay attention to how your body feels as you work on it. It's not about perfection, it's about progression. So the next time you're brushing your teeth or waiting for the kettle to boil, try standing on one leg for a few seconds. Test yourself gently. Don't force it, but do notice what your body is telling you. If you can hold that stance even a little, it may be one of the most hopeful signs that your body is still working with you and that your years ahead are filled with more strength and more life. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Sign 5, you handle stress calmly and recover quickly. One of the most telling signs that predicts how long you'll live after 70 isn't found in your blood pressure or your cholesterol levels. It's in how you handle life's stressful moments, and more importantly, how quickly you bounce back after they pass. If you've noticed that you're able to stay relatively calm during challenging situations, or that you recover emotionally without staying stuck in worry, resentment, or fear, you may be quietly protecting your body and extending your years. Stress, especially when it becomes chronic, is one of the most damaging forces a body can endure. It increases inflammation, disrupts hormones, weakens the immune system, and wears down the heart and brain. But what makes a real difference isn't whether or not you feel stress, because we all do. but how you respond to it. And for older adults, that response can shape the course of the years ahead. Think about how your body reacts when something goes wrong. Maybe you spill coffee, miss an appointment, or get unsettling news from a family member. Do you take a breath and adapt? Or do you feel the tension linger long after the moment has passed? That ability to return to balance, to regain perspective, is something researchers call resilience. And the more resilient you are, the more protected your health becomes. There's a story I remember about a man named Walter. He was 81 and had lived through some tough seasons. He'd lost a wife, weathered financial hardship, and dealt with health scares. But you'd never know it by talking to him. He had this warm, steady voice and a way of pausing before responding to anything. He once told me, "Life's thrown a lot at me, but I just try not to carry too much at once." That attitude, it wasn't just comforting, it was life-extending. Walter's calm didn't mean he didn't feel stress. It meant he processed it, accepted it, and moved forward without letting it consume him. From a biological perspective, people like Walter tend to have lower levels of cortisol, the hormone your body releases during stress. And that's important, because high cortisol over time is linked to memory problems, weight gain, heart disease, and even shortened lifespan. But when your cortisol levels return to normal quickly after a stressful moment, your body recovers faster, and your organs don't suffer the same long-term damage. Even more interesting, people who manage stress well often sleep better, eat more mindfully, and stay socially engaged, all of which are also linked to longer life. In many ways, resilience sets off a chain reaction of healthier habits and better outcomes. You might be thinking, but I've always been a bit anxious, or it's hard not to worry about my health or my kids. And that's completely normal. The goal isn't to never feel stress, it's to develop tools that help you work through it. Things like deep breathing, prayer, light exercise, keeping a gratitude journal, or even stepping outside for a few minutes of fresh air can dramatically shift how your nervous system responds to stress. And here's something especially powerful. Your brain can rewire itself to respond more calmly over time. The more you practice calming responses, the easier they become. It's like building a muscle. And the more you strengthen it, the more protected your heart, your brain, and your whole system becomes. So the next time life feels heavy or something frustrating happens, pay attention to your own reaction. Notice how quickly you come back to calm. Do you dwell in the worry, or do you breathe, adjust, and keep going? That quiet recovery, that inner shift, might just be one of the strongest signs that your body is built to last. And if you feel like you're not there yet, don't be discouraged. Resilience is something that can be cultivated at any age. Every time you respond to stress with grace instead of panic, you're not just choosing peace in the moment, you're investing in more moments to come. Sign 6, you have a strong grip strength. It might surprise you to hear this, but one of the most reliable indicators of how long you'll live after 70 lies right in the palm of your hand. Grip strength, yes, the simple act of how firmly you can squeeze or hold on to something, is far more than just a test of muscle. It's actually a window into your overall health, resilience, and even your future independence. Doctors and researchers have been using grip strength tests for decades. And what they've discovered is both fascinating and consistent. Seniors with stronger grip strength tend to live longer, stay healthier, and recover more quickly from illness. In fact, grip strength has been shown to predict everything from heart health to mobility and even brain function. Why is that? Because grip strength isn't just about your hands, it reflects your entire muscular and nervous system. In order to maintain a firm grip, your brain has to communicate clearly with your nerves. Your muscles have to respond efficiently, and your joints have to be stable and pain-free. That coordination between mind and body is what makes grip strength such a powerful indicator. It also hints at how active you are overall. People who stay physically engaged, whether it's gardening, carrying groceries, using hand tools, or just moving their body regularly, tend to have stronger grips. And that daily movement, those small acts of strength and coordination, play a huge role in protecting the body against age-related decline. Let me tell you about Carol. She's 76 and lives in a small home with a backyard full of flowers and vegetables. Every morning she's out there tugging at weeds, lifting watering cans, and gently pruning her roses. When she visited her doctor for a routine checkup, they did a grip strength test. Her results were far above average for her age. Her doctor smiled and said, "Whatever you're doing, keep doing it." That little moment confirmed something she already knew deep down: staying active, even in the simplest ways, was helping her stay strong. From a health perspective, strong grip strength is linked to fewer hospitalizations, lower risk of heart disease, and better metabolic function. It also plays a role in preventing falls, because when your hands are strong, you're more likely to catch yourself, steady yourself, or hold on to something when you need it most. It's also worth noting that grip strength connects to something psychological, your sense of independence. Think about all the daily activities that require a strong grip: opening jars, turning door handles, carrying laundry, writing, cooking. When your hands are strong, you stay in control of your environment. You don't have to rely on others as much. And that autonomy, it builds confidence. And confidence, as we've seen again and again, contributes to better mental health and longer life. Now, if you're wondering how your own grip strength measures up, there's a simple way to find out. Try squeezing a soft rubber ball or even shaking hands with a friend. Do you feel firm? Or do your hands tire quickly? If your grip feels weak, don't worry, it's something you can improve. You don't need fancy equipment. Just practicing with hand grippers, lifting small hand weights, or doing basic exercises like squeezing a towel can gradually rebuild your strength. Even opening jars or using resistance bands can help. The key is to be consistent and gentle with yourself. You're not trying to become a bodybuilder. You're building a foundation of strength that supports the rest of your health. So the next time you reach for something, whether it's a coffee mug, a doorknob, or the hand of someone you love, pay attention to your grip. That quiet strength might be telling you more than you think about your body's health and your journey ahead. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Sign 7, you eat whole, minimally processed foods daily. Another deeply influential sign that often predicts how long you'll live after 70 is your daily diet, specifically whether you regularly eat whole, minimally processed foods. While it might seem like common sense, the reality is that your food choices, especially at this stage of life, can either support your longevity or quietly work against it. Whole foods like fresh vegetables, fruits, legumes, nuts, seeds, whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats contain the vitamins, minerals, fiber, and antioxidants your aging body craves. When you prioritize these kinds of foods, you're not just eating for taste. You're eating for energy, for strength, for brain clarity, and most importantly, for protection against disease. You see, after 70, your body becomes more sensitive to what you feed it. Your digestion slows down. Your body's ability to absorb certain nutrients decreases. Your immune system doesn't bounce back quite as fast. And your risk for chronic conditions like heart disease, diabetes, arthritis, and memory loss rises sharply. But food is one of the most powerful tools you have. It's your daily medicine. And every bite you take either builds your resilience or breaks it down. The problem is, many of the foods marketed to older adults, microwave meals, snack bars, diet drinks, are loaded with hidden sugars, salt, preservatives, and industrial oils. These ingredients may be convenient, but over time they create inflammation, stress your organs, and age you faster from the inside out. Contrast that with something simple: a bowl of warm oatmeal topped with berries and walnuts, or a plate of baked salmon with steamed broccoli and a drizzle of olive oil. These foods don't just satisfy, they restore. They support your brain, fuel your heart, stabilize your blood sugar, and keep your gut healthy. They work with your body, not against it. Let me tell you about a man named Jim. He's 79, and for most of his life, he didn't pay much attention to what he ate. Fast food was easier, and sweets gave him comfort. But after a health scare in his early 70s, he started making slow changes. He swapped soda for water. He added greens to his dinner plate. He learned how to make simple meals from scratch. Today, Jim says he feels more energetic than he did at 60, and his blood work agrees. His doctor called it a remarkable turnaround, but Jim just calls it eating real food. And the beauty of this sign is that it's never too late to start. Even if you've eaten a less than ideal diet for years, your body still responds when you give it the right nutrients. The inflammation begins to go down. The arteries start to relax. The brain lights up again. You may even notice your mood lifting, your joints moving more freely, and your digestion settling. That's the power of clean whole food. It gives your body a chance to heal and thrive. So what does minimally processed actually mean? It means the food looks close to how it did when it came from the earth. A sweet potato, not a bag of potato chips. A handful of almonds, not a candy bar. A piece of grilled chicken, not a frozen chicken nugget. It's about choosing foods with ingredients you recognize, and fewer of them. It doesn't have to be complicated or gourmet. A simple meal made with fresh ingredients is enough. You don't need to follow a trendy diet or cut out entire food groups. Just eat food that makes your body feel good, supports your energy, and keeps your insides running smoothly. And if you live on a fixed income or find it hard to shop for fresh food regularly, there are still ways to make it work. Frozen vegetables, for example, are often just as nutritious as fresh ones and last much longer. Canned beans, oats, eggs, and brown rice are affordable and nourishing. It's about making the best choices you can with what you have and giving your body what it's truly asking for. So the next time you sit down to eat, take a look at your plate. Ask yourself, is this food going to support my strength, my mind, and my years ahead? Because the answer to that question may quietly shape the quality and the length of your life. Sign 8, you find purpose and joy in your daily life. Perhaps the most overlooked yet profoundly important sign that predicts how long you'll live after 70 is whether or not you still feel a sense of purpose and joy in your daily life. It might not show up in a lab test or be something your doctor asked about during your annual checkup, but its impact on your longevity is both powerful and deeply personal. You see, people who wake up each morning with something to look forward to, no matter how small, tend to live longer, stay healthier, and feel more fulfilled as they age. Purpose doesn't have to mean something grand like changing the world. It can be as simple as tending a garden, mentoring a younger person, caring for a pet, writing in a journal, or cooking a meal for someone you love. What matters is that you feel connected to something outside yourself, something that gives your life meaning. In studies on healthy aging, researchers consistently find that older adults with a strong sense of purpose have lower rates of heart disease, stroke, depression, and even dementia. Why? Because purpose acts like fuel. It keeps the mind alert, the emotions balanced, and the body moving. When you have something to live for, your whole system responds. You breathe deeper, think clearer, and feel stronger. But it's not just about having a goal. It's also about joy, the quiet, everyday kind. The joy of hearing a bird outside your window. The joy of a warm cup of tea in the afternoon sun. The joy of a favorite song, a child's laughter, or a moment of reflection. That kind of joy isn't a luxury, it's a lifeline. It protects you from stress, lifts your spirit, and reminds you that life, even in its simplest moments, is still worth savoring. There's a woman I remember named Dorothy. She was 85, lived alone, and had long since outlived most of her family. But every day she opened her curtains, watered her plants, read the newspaper, and wrote a short note to someone, sometimes a neighbor, sometimes a stranger. She said it gave her a reason to get up and get dressed. I may not have many people around me, she once told me, but I still have things to say and beauty to notice. That simple routine gave her a structure, a rhythm, and a purpose. And it kept her going, bright-eyed and kind-hearted, well into her late 90s. Even in tough times, people with purpose tend to cope better. They recover faster from illness. They seek help when needed, and they're more likely to maintain healthy habits. Why? Because when you care about life, you're more invested in protecting it. The beautiful part is that purpose and joy don't come from big, dramatic gestures. They're often found in the ordinary, the morning walk, the conversation at the checkout line, the feeling of clean sheets, the memory of a loved one. These moments aren't small, they're the fabric of a meaningful life. And if you feel like you've lost your sense of purpose lately, that's okay. It happens. Life shifts, routines change, and sometimes it takes a little time to find new meaning in a new season. But purpose can be rediscovered. Sometimes it starts by helping someone else. Other times it's simply by asking yourself, what brings me peace? Or what used to bring me joy that I've stopped doing? Even writing down one small thing each day that you're grateful for can slowly open the door back to a fuller, more connected life. So take a moment and ask yourself, do you still feel like your days matter? Do you have something or someone that brings you joy? If the answer is yes, you're already nurturing one of the strongest foundations for a longer, richer life. And if not yet, then this moment might be your invitation to begin again. Because when you live with purpose, the days ahead aren't just about surviving, they're about truly living. Final thoughts. As we come to the end of this video, I'd like to invite you to pause for a moment and think about the 8 signs we've just explored together. Which ones stood out to you the most? Was there one that made you nod and think, that's me? Or perhaps one that sparked a quiet motivation to make a small change? Whether it was your steady walking pace, your ability to find purpose in daily life, or simply the way you recover from stress, each of these signs tells a story. A story about your body's strength, your heart's resilience, and your spirit's desire to keep moving forward. They aren't tests you pass or fail. They're reflections. Reflections of the life you've lived and the life that still lies ahead. And here's the beautiful truth. No matter where you are right now, whether you're thriving in all 8 areas or struggling in a few, there is always room to grow, heal, and improve. Longevity isn't about being perfect. It's about being present. It's about showing up for your body and your mind in the ways that matter most, day after day, moment by moment. I hope this video has done more than just inform you. I hope it's made you feel seen. Because aging isn't a decline, it's a deepening. A deepening of wisdom, of gratitude, and of the relationships and routines that give our lives meaning. And maybe, just maybe, you're realizing that you're already doing better than you thought. That the simple things you do every day, reaching out to a friend, walking with purpose, choosing a healthy meal, or pausing to take a breath are actually shaping the path ahead in ways that are more powerful than you imagine. So as you step into tomorrow, carry this with you. Your life is still unfolding, and the choices you make now have the power to echo beautifully into the years ahead. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.